Welcome back to the DB990 Restoration channel. For those of you new, my name's Barry. Quick catch up on where we are, because I know it's been a while since we got any videos put out. As you can see, dashboard's on, wire and harness is in. All this is wired up and plugged in. We still haven't gotten around to putting the terminals on these wires with the plug and plugging it into the dashboard. Not yet. That's a job that will be happening soon. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I think I said in the last video a while ago, I was talking to Technical Brad. He was busy with his power steering filters at the front, and I asked him where his headlight wires went, and he said they come sideways and clip onto the bottom ledge of the bonnet of the tin work and run forward along around the corner and in. So what I've done is I've just curled mine up here and cable tied them to the air intake for the moment. But you can see we've got all the wires on everything else that needs to be on. We're all piped up, ready to go. I just need that done if I can get 5 minutes. Dashboard's on. Now, the three little warning lights, a little bit of a warning about the warning lights. I bought them off a company on eBay, and they were £20 or thereabouts for the three. And when you get them, you understand why they're £20 for the three, right? I wouldn't recommend anybody buys them from the same company on eBay. I'm not going to mention the company, but I wouldn't recommend, or I would suggest that you are very careful who you are buying off on eBay. The internals that fit into those lamps is extremely slack. In fact, when I was fitting the dash, the internals for that one fell out under its own weight, and I had to go in under the dash and pull the light out in order to get it all back together. So the dash needs to come off again. We need to do something that secures the internals a little bit better. You cannot glue them in, obviously, because you need to get in to change the bulbs. So we need to find some way, and it'll probably only be a couple of thou, probably just one little bit of paper wrapped around the plastic insert to be able to push it in and secure it inside. We'll see, we'll have a look. We have reassembled the steering column, we have put the throttle lever in. Again, everything is just temporary. It's to make sure it all fits together, it all has clearances, it all works properly. I've come in this morning, I've got a puncture, haven't I, on that wheel. Mind having said that, I don't know how old that tyre is, but it's probably older than me. It sat in the dirt on the farm for the best part of 3 years. I put it back on the tractor, I didn't even blow it up, I didn't have to. And it's probably just perished and gone down. I might see if I can actually buy a big bead breaker, break the bead, pull the tube out and have a look at the tube inside, and maybe just put a tube in for the moment to keep it up level, because it's starting to droop this side. As you can see, we've got quite lean on the tractor, haven't we, because of this tyre. It was smaller than that one anyway, which didn't help. Right, let's take you and show you what has been the cause of the delay on the tractor, and probably will continue to be a bit of a delay on the tractor, at least for about Christmas time. Let's go and have a look. Right, so this is what's been stopping me from getting on. Deb and I bought another house in the meantime, another bungalow actually. This is a 3-bed bungalow. It wasn't like this when we got it, okay? It was fully furnished, fully carpeted, walls and everything were on, radiators were in, everything. And the last couple of weeks, days, Deb and I have never stopped absolutely gutting this place. It needs rewire, replumb, bathrooms need sorting out, walls, some of the walls are changing, There's a door going in there. Where your camera is going to get blocked off. That's going to become a wall. But let's have a quick walk around, show you what we're going to be doing and why the delay for the tractor. So this initially, in the original bungalow, was the sitting room. As you can see, we've got the floors up. That was me yesterday cutting out all of the old copper pipe that was for the central heating. There was a radiator on this wall, copper pipe fed. For some reason, the boiler in this house was replaced a few years ago. Nice new combi boiler. The radiators at the other end of the house in the 2 bedrooms at the other end never warmed up. And this used to be my mum and dad's. So they always used to say to her, those radiators never get warm. When I started cutting the old pipework out to tidy things up, I found out why. The 22mm only came next door. The rest of it was 15, and then had radiators piggybacked off with 15mm pipe. So in reality, there wasn't a great deal of pressure to force the water around that end of the circuit. It was simply circulating at this end of the circuit and going back to the boiler. Anyway, so in here, I've got some time-lapse footage of all this bits and pieces happening, which I'll pop up in a minute for you. We took the floor, cut the pipes out. While we've had the floor up, we've also chased in a couple of extra circuits here. The bed is going to go on that wall, set of fitted wardrobes. Hence the 2 sockets here. They're going to be under the bed so you can get at them for charging computers and the like. Something that I think I've been told, I'm not sure if it is, you guys can tell me if it's right. Something that I've been told is peculiar to the UK is what we call a ring main or a ring circuit, and it's primarily for your sockets. And what it does is you come from your consumer unit with a wire and you go right round every room in the house and back to the consumer unit, and off that ring, well, not off the ring, but in the ring you put your sockets. Hence there's 2 wires in every one, because the wire comes into the socket, out of the socket, along, into the socket, out of the socket, and along, and it makes a ring. It's supposedly to keep the ampage down in the wires. Now we also have what we call a radial ring, or no, sorry, not a radial ring, a radial circuit, which can be 1 wire with multiple circuits on the end of it. But the industry wants rings. Apparently, it allows you to use a 2.5mm cable, 2.5mm square cable in the system, which is only 26 amp, but managed to get a 32 amp system running because it'll feed both ways. It can, in theory. That's the theory of it. Anyway, so I'm leaving the floors up because we are going to feed in new plastic 22mm and come off that 22mm with 10mm to feed each individual radiator in the house, with the exception of 2 for the sitting room and dining room, which will be 15mm outputs. Let's have a look in the hall, see what we've been doing in the hall. Right into the hall. You notice we've got a little bit of an opening, and that wasn't the 1960s serving hatch, by the way, no. Originally there was a door through there, that was a wall, that was a door. This was apparently when my mum and dad first came, there was the corridor went down that way to the other bedrooms at the bottom. The dining room, which we'll go into in a minute, was also a bedroom, not a dining room. So it went into the corridor, 3 bedrooms at that end. That door's going back in, that's going to get boxed up. The wardrobes for that bedroom's coming out of this bedroom, going into there. this bedroom is becoming a dining room. Show you in a minute. Now, let's have a look at this. When Deb walked in this morning, it was, oh my golly gosh, what have you been doing? In order to get the pipework out, you've obviously got to cut the floors up. Now, what I've done here is I've pulled the floor up in a way that the original people who did the installation for the heating pulled the floor up to put pipes in. So I've lifted the boards in order to take the pipes back out. You can see here a bit of a oddball shape. So the plan is, cut that board off there, cut that board off there, take them out, you'll end up with a nice rectangular shaped hole in the floor, which new boards will fit into. Same with that one. That's not much of a problem, that one and that one. There's two boards there that come up and allow you access into there. Same again in here in the toilet. That back board will get taken out, squared off and put back in as one sheet. You've got to watch where you're standing because you're going to fall down the holes. Right, so through the kitchen, all this is coming out. Whilst it's out, we will run radiator feeds to the conservatory in that direction, because I'll show you the floors. We can see, can we see in there? See in there, 222 mils copper pipes. That is flow and return for the heating system. Now, the original engineers had the flow and return coming from there up to that space, 90-degree bend with reducers on, feeding through forward into the sitting room. Coming along to this space here, 90-degree bend going through the wall there. Coming there, 90-degree bend along to here, 90-degree bend here. Ouch! Found in holes. Along to here, 90-degree bend here. And that's where the 22 mil ended. It had 15 mil forward through there into the bedroom 2, as it will become. And as you can still see in there the 215 mils feeding the whole of the rest of the house. What you've also got to be careful of is gas pipe. There is a live gas pipe still running through this house from when the old heating system was in, which was a hot air ducted heating system, which is, that's the ducting there for the hot air system. That's the 22 mil there that fed it, because the old air heater was here. It's also got a 15 mil that shoots that way across the floor in between those two plug sockets over there. There it is there, you can see it. So it goes up the sitting room, across the sitting room to there. Probably had a gas fire mounted on the wall over there. It also tees off and goes that way. So right through the house to the far end, because there was two gas heaters at that end of the house over there. Whoever tiled this did an amazing job. They tiled on top of tiles. Instead of taking the tiles off, they've tiled on top of tiles. So now we've got two layers of tiles to take off when we strip the room. Right, let's take you into the dining room, or as it'll become the new sitting room. Right, we're coming to what used to be the dining room is going to become the sitting room. Straight through there is what used to be the number 3 bedroom, which is the little one, which will become the new dining room. Because, well, sitting room, dining room combined, because that wall's coming out. Well, that's just a stud wall. So that's coming down. That door's getting blocked up. The new door will be around the corner into that little dining room, become an L-shaped dining room. You can see I've started putting sockets into the wall for the telly. Took the radiator out, took all the pipework out. The only piece of pipework that's now left in the bungalow is across the floor from there to there. And when I can get the floors lifted in there and get that radiator off in the little bedroom, we'll get the pipework cut out. I don't like leaving the old pipework under the floor. It's no good, you cannot use it in the house for drinking water anymore because it has a anti-corrosive in it, supposedly to stop the radiators from corroding internally and the boiler. However, when we took the radiators off, several of them, including the big double in the front, had one vein, one panel blocked solid with black rubbish. And that's why I'm not using the pipework. I'm not using the pipework. I'm going to put all new pipework in, end to end, coupled onto those two 22s next door, and then we know it'll be nip and clean, we know it'll work. Okay, now let's go into bedroom 1, see what's happening. Right, you can hear the floorboards whacking and banging because I've got them down but I haven't screwed. These are nailed, these ones aren't. These are just sitting there so I can get access under the floor for running pipework and the like. This is going to be bedroom 1 because it's got an ensuite in there that will get fully refurbished, but not in this point in time because we're stuck for time and we're stuck for resources at the moment because we need to get this sorted out hopefully by the end of September so we can get into it. As you can see, we've been cutting in a double socket, a coax aerial cable for TV and a network cable for RJ45 because some of the tellies are connected to the network by RJ45s as well as wireless. The trouble with living in the country up here, especially in Northumberland, you don't have the speed over the internet to be able to handle wireless and run your computers and iPads and phones all at the same time. Hence, we're going to do cable network to the TVs. As you can see, we've cut in 2 double sockets. The bed's going to go between them, and why they are that height is because the bedside cabinets come to about here. These also will have USB charging ports in them, so Deb can charge her iPad and phones and everything whilst we're sleeping. But that's so that they are that height so that you can just pop your hand down the back of the bedroom cabinets without them being seen in the room. We need a new floor panel for there. Unfortunately, the only way you could get it up was to break it. So we've got that little issue to solve. Bottom corner over there, the floor actually ran away and you could see there was ½ an inch gap in the corner where both directions, that way and that way, where the support for the joist under there had disappeared. These joists are not put into the wall on hangers like they should have been. There's what they call air walls underneath, and the joists are levelled on little pieces of timber that are slid in to bring them to level. For whatever reason, that one had gone missing, the beam had dipped. So I had to bring a jack in, put the jack underneath, jack it up, chock that side of the air wall, and also put a taper in under the beam at this side to get that floor back level. It's a good job in the way it was there because the same hole did one job, didn't it? Okay, in the office. Right, this was always bedroom 2. It's now going to become what, office. My desk's going to go there where the camera is. Deb's going to have that area for her crafty bits and pieces. We have ran from the front, from the telephone connection to the front, a Cat 5e cable all the way through the house into the sockets there. I'll show you in a second. Again, all the walls scraped, cleaned, washed, needs to be sorted out. We need to run into this room because of all the computers that's going to be on in this room. We need to run in a separate 20 amp ring that is totally separate from the house ring. So what we'll do is we will run the cable from the consumer unit into here, and because in the future we might want to just put this back to a bedroom quickly and easy, I am not going to chase the walls and put the sockets around the walls. Reason being, I've done a quick count up at home and I need about 20 outlets in order to run my computer system. I know that seems excessive, and I couldn't believe it myself till I started counting them, which is why there's a separate 20 amp ring coming in here to deal with that. And how we're going to deal with it is we are going to run the cable under the floor. It's going to come up in the back over there somewhere. We're going to put that lab type conduit just behind my desk and fill it with sockets so that we can get everything plugged in from there. Hopefully. One thing we had to do in here was we had to put in telephone master socket, and this will be an RJ45 socket in there. This room's been stripped and washed, and other than the initial hole in the floor and the 20 amp cable coming up, we're done in this room and the number 1 bedroom. The first room we were in, the number 2 bedroom now, is also ready, just wants the walls washing again, and now we need plasterers in to get it all plastered out. So that's it. That's our big project. We have got some time-lapse video of we're working in here. We've been busting a gut to get all this bits and pieces, everything ready. As I say, we need to get organised for plasterers and that. Hence, the tractor has been put on hold for the moment. And what else is difficult is that with we've been in 2 different places, whatever tools you need is always in the other place. Doesn't matter which job you're doing, it's always in the other place. Right. What we'll do, let me know in the comments if you want to follow us through with this job. We will take more videos of us getting this prepped, getting it ready, getting jobs done as we come through the process of things, and hopefully moving in there, which end of September, October time, fingers crossed, get in before the bad weather starts, eh? Right, thanks very much for joining us. As always, your time is greatly appreciated when you come visiting us. Hopefully, not be so long that we get back onto our tractor and get some more jobs done. Now, I cannot say, remember, it's only nuts and bolts, because it isn't in this one, is it? I'll have to think of a new catchphrase. Right, thanks very much for joining us. Catch us in the next one. Ta-ra now.